In this video, we'll talk about normalization in database management system DBMS. You will learn about why we need normalization, what is normalization, types of normalization. I request you till the end, please stay tuned on this video. Please subscribe to my channel, like and share this video. Thank you. Why we need the normalization? Why the normalization came into existence in database? Why we need the normalization in database management system? So let's start why we need the normalization. Then I will tell you what is normalization. At last of this video, I will tell you how many different types of normalization are there in database management system. So let's start why we need the normalization in database management system DBMS. Why we need the normalization? Normalization is a technique. Normalization is a technique to remove or reduce the redundancy. It means duplicate data from a table in a database. Normalization is a simple technique by using which we can remove the duplicate data or we can reduce the duplication of the data in a table of a database. So let's see how many different types of duplication of data exist in a table in database. Duplication of data is of two types in table. First we'll be having the row level duplication. First we'll be having row level duplication. Next we'll be having column level duplication. Right? So first we'll be having row level duplication. Next we'll be having column level duplication. So let's discuss what is row level duplication. Row level duplication is to remove the row level duplication of data. Primary key is used. Primary key is used. So what is primary key? Primary key is a key which uniquely define each row in a table. It means in a table we will be having unique data as well as whatever the primary key is assigned to a particular column will be not null. Means we have to enter the data into primary key column. If we are not entering data into primary key column, we will be getting an error. If we are entering duplicate data into primary key column, we will be getting an error. In this way, we can reduce row level duplication of data in table of a DBMS. So let's consider this table. I have this table. I have the number of records in this table. You can see some of the records are duplicate records. The duplicate records are 5 Raju. Serial number, I have the column. I have the student name is a column. Grade is the column. So serial number, I have the column as 157 1001 1005. I have this all the details of serial number and student name, grade. This is my table. So in this table I have the duplicate data as well. 5 is repeating twice, 8 is also repeating twice. So this is my duplicate data. This is my duplicate data. Now I don't have a primary key on this table. I don't have a primary key on this table. What is primary key? The moment I am going to apply the primary key, the data will be unique and it will be not null. So on which particular column I can add the primary key? Remember this, the primary key value should be a numerical value. Why it is numerical? Why it should be numerical value? Because the numerical value will be easily sorted as well as easily recognizable. For example, if you are assigning a primary key on a Ravi, on sorry, S name. So S name, the name of a student Ravi, 2 or 3 students will be having a same name in the class. Okay, if you apply the primary key on a grade, 2 or 3 students or 5 students will be getting the same grades. So applying a primary key on a student name or a grade in this existing table will not work out. So you have to assign the primary key on a column on in which you will be having a unique numbers. You will be having a numbers. So numbers am having on in a field. The name of the field is serial number. So serial number, I can designate that particular serial number column or the field as a primary key field or a primary key column, so that every student, whoever we are entering the data, will be unique in this table. For example, you are having a class. In a class, a particular student will be having a roll number 1. So any other student will be having a roll number 1? No, only one student will be having a roll number 1. But it is possible the roll number 1 name is, for example, Ravi. The roll number 2 student name is Raju. The roll number 3 student can be Ravi again, right? So in this case, this Ravi, the first Ravi and second Ravi, how they are differed? They are differ with their roll numbers. Okay, first Ravi is having roll number 1, second Ravi is having roll number 3. So we can understand that the serial number or the roll number is a unique to distinguish this particular two Ravis. So I have to assign the primary key on a numerical value. So I'm going to apply the primary key in serial number field of this particular table. So I am applying this primary key on this serial number field. So I am going to apply. So I have applied. The moment I have applied this, what will happen to my data? What will happen to my data? The data will be unique now. The data will be unique data I will be having. So as you can see, 1, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 10. So duplicate data has been removed from the table. Clear with this? So this is the functionality of primary key, by using which we can remove row level duplication of data. So in a first table, you have the duplicate data. You have the duplicate data in table. Now in second table, you don't have a duplicate data. How you are not having duplicate data? Because I have applied the primary key on a serial number. So serial number is a unique numbers. The moment I apply the primary key on a serial number, whatever the data I am getting, it's a unique data. And in serial number, all the data is filled 1 to 10. Every data is filled. None of the row or the column is empty here. So primary key will ensure that the data is entered by the end user will be unique, as well as it should not be a null. So by using the primary key on any table, we can remove duplication of data at row level. So to remove the row level duplication, we will be using primary key. So primary key will be making you sure that the data will be unique and it is not null. Next we have next are column level duplication. What is column level duplication? So in column level duplication, I have this particular table on the screen. As you can see, I have the student ID is assigned to this particular table. So it means this, I have the unique records of students and all the records are unique. I'm expecting, as primary key is assigned to this table, row level duplication is not there. So let's see the row level duplication. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, all the records are different. It means row level duplication is not there. Row level duplication is not there. Let's see column level duplication. Let's see the column level duplication in this table. So column level duplication, as we have here, C1 course ID I have, course fee I have, faculty ID, faculty name. So I have all these details along with the student details here. So this table is having details of student, course and faculty. So which students has enrolled for which course, what is the fees of that particular course, and which faculty is teaching. So this table is about all these details. So in this, first student, student 1001 ID Jane, having code C1 ID, enroll for the course C++, fees is 30,000, faculty ID is F1, faculty name is John. So John is teaching to Jane, the course name is C++, and John has paid 3000 rupees for this particular course, and he has been given with the ID 1001, and faculty ID is F1 and course ID is C1. So I have all this data in my table. So like this, I have C1, how many times it is repeating? C++ codes is repeating 3 times. John is also repeating 3 times. F1 is also repeating 3 times. 3000 is repeating 3 times. C++ repeating 3 times. C1 is repeating 3 times. So this is called as our column level duplication of data. Now, to maintain this type of data is good in a table. Yes, we can maintain. There is no problem of maintaining such type of data. But the problem comes when you are going to insert a new record. When you want to insert a new record, you will get an error. When you get an when you want to delete an existing record, you will be having a problem. When you are inserting a when you want to update an existing record, you will get an problem. So to avoid such problems, in this particular table, in this example, okay, at certain levels, and every time we will not be getting an problem with this, we will be getting this particular problem at some special cases. So if we are getting a problem or issue or the error at special cases, that particular type of problem will be termed as anomalies in our database. Anomalies in database. So what is anomaly? The error or the problem arises due to certain special circumstances that will be called as our anomalies. So how many different types of anomalies will be having? We'll be having first insertion anomaly, deletion anomaly, and the last is updation anomaly. Why we are considering only these three anomalies? See, in a database management system, we will be always doing the operations. The operations on a database will be in terms of insertion, deletion, and updation of data only. So that's the reason I'm considering these three, because whatever the database I will be having, in the database either I'm going to insert the record, I'm going to delete the record, or I'm going to make an updation of any existing record. So that's the reason I'm considering these three anomalies. First, insertion anomaly, deletion anomaly next, third is updation anomaly. So what is anomaly? At certain or special cases, we will be having certain problem with the data, right? So let's see the first one, insertion. The first column level duplication is insertion anomaly. So let's discuss in detail about insertion anomaly. As we have this data on the screen, I have this data as student ID, student name, course ID, course name, course fee, faculty ID, faculty name. I have this particular tabulation over here. So on this tabulation, as you can see, I have the I have the duplicate data in columns of different in columns as courses, fees, and faculties. I have this particular duplication. Now with respect to this, I'm going to make an column level duplication. I have the data. With respect to this, I have to make an insertion. So the moment I'm going to make an insertion, so let's see in this particular format of table, the moment I'm going to insert the data, what type of error I will be having. What type of error I will be having. As you can see, student ID is a primary key. So it means this the data in this table is a unique data in terms of student ID. So student ID will not be repeated, and rest of the data can be repeated, right? Rest of the data can be repeated, whereas student ID will be the unique one, right? So I want to make certain insertion into this column, certain insertion into this column. Okay, so if I want to make a student entry in this 1005 in a student ID, if I'm maintaining the all the if I'm entering the all the data, I will not get any error. Easily I can do. For instance, in my institute, I'm going to launch a new course. I want to launch a new course. The course is I want to launch a new course. So first I will be launching a course, then student will be coming. Remember this logic. First I will be launching a course, then student will be enrolling for this course. So I'm going to launch a course C4 Unix. The fees is 5000. Fees is 5000. So in this table I have mentioned C4 course I have launched in the market. The course name is Unix. The fees is 5000. So by seeing the advertisement, student will enroll. So logically I have to first launch the course, then student will be joining the course. So if I am going with that particular logic in this table, I will be getting an error. Why I will be getting an error? Because student ID is a primary key. First I have to fill the primary, first I have to enter the student detail, then I have to put the courses, then I have to put the courses. So I will be having a primary key in this table. I am having a primary key, so primary key will not allow me to enter this data of a course. So what is a primary key? It's unique and not null. So I will be getting an error. So error is primary key should not be null. So this type of anomaly in a data of a table in a database will be called as insertion anomaly. So first I have to enter the data of student, then course. But logically first I have to launch the course, then by seeing the course advertisement student will enroll. So this particular logic with this particular format of the table is contradicting. So this type of error or this type of anomaly will be called as insertion anomaly at column level duplication of the data. So next I have the deletion anomaly. The same example I am taking, student table I am taking, all the details is on the screen. I am taking the same example. So column level duplication it is, right? It is column level duplication. I want to delete a record. For instance, I want to delete a student Raju. I want to rusticate him from my institution. I want to remove the Raju from my institution. I want to rusticate him. So what I will be doing, I have to delete the Raju from database. I'm going to delete the Raju from the database. So how I have to do? I will be writing a query. The query will be delete from student table where SID is 1003. So Raju ID is 1003. Raju will be deleted from the table. Right? Now what will happen? The moment I have run this query, what will happen to my table? The entire data related to Raju will be deleted. The entire data related to Raju will be deleted. So the data related to course, faculty is also deleted. Right? This type of anomaly is called as deletion anomaly. Whereas I want the data of course and faculty to be remain in my institution. I have just removed or restricted the Raju from my institution. But I want the data to be maintained in my records of the institution database related to his course and faculty, which faculty had taught him, what course he was enrolled, everything I want in my database. But presently in this format of the table, the moment I am running the query delete from a student table where SID is equals to 1003, it is removing all the details related to Raju, right? So this type of anomaly is called as deletion anomaly. And the last I have updation anomaly. What is updation anomaly? It means that I want to update and record, I will be getting an error or the warning. So that type of updation will be called as updation anomaly. So in column level duplication of a data in a table of a database, I will be having updation anomaly example here. So I have the tabulation, right? In this tabulation I have the duplicate data at column level. Now I want to make an update. So for this I'm going to write a query. So let's see the query. Set student update student table, set C value means course fee. I'm going to make is 3500 whose course ID is CID is C1. So update student table, set C fee is equals to 3000 where CID is C1. So C1 course I am going to increase, C1 course fees I want to increase from 3 to 3000, or I want to make a changes. I am going to make a changes into this. So what will happen? The moment I am going to run this, within seconds you will getting the output on your screen. As I have the only 4 records, you can see I have the 4 records in this table. Within seconds you will get an output. Within seconds you will get an output on the screen the moment I run this query. So let's consider you have a very large volume of data. Then in case of large volume of data, updating data will take longer time. Because the course C1 is only one course. The instance of this particular course is 3000, right? Course is only single course. How many number of times it is appearing? It is, for example, you have 1000 students, so 1000 number of times C1 is appearing. So 1000 number of times C1 course fee has to update in a database. So 1000 time the 3500 should be updated into the database. So how much time it will take? So process, how much processor time it is going to consume? So each and everything will be considered here. So that's the reason the deletion anomaly will be arising in column level duplication of a data. So in case of large volume of data, updating will take longer time. Updating will take longer time in this scenario of, in this example of table. So what is the solution? What is the solution of all this problem? First is insertion, deletion, and updation. So I have this particular thing. What is the particular thing? I have a table. So on this table, what is the solution? So why normalization? Why we need the normalization? Now you tell me. The simple answer is we want to remove these anomalies. So what are these anomalies? We have insertion, deletion, and updation. So I have this table. So on this table, I don't want any anomalies. So what I have to do? The normalization will help you to remove these anomalies. How the normalization will help? Normalization will help us to remove the insertion anomaly, deletion anomaly, and updation anomaly by dividing this existing table into three different table. One table is going to maintain the details of students. One table is going to maintain the details of course. One table is going to maintain the details of faculty. So each table will be having a primary key is given, will be mentioned. So SID will be having primary key, course will be having course ID, primary key, and in faculty table FID will be having a primary key. So that row level duplication should not be there. If we don't have a row level duplication, if we have a mapping in this table, easily we can do the insertion, deletion, and updation, right? So in this way the normalization will work. So normalization, basically it is going to first organize the data, then it is going to remove insertion anomaly, deletion anomaly, and updation anomaly. It is going to solve the issues of this. So let's see what is. So normalization is a process of organizing the data. First it is going to organize the data in database to avoid data redundancy. Data redundancy means duplication of the data. Okay, first it to avoid data redundancy. Next, insertion anomaly, updation anomaly, and deletion anomaly. So as we have seen, the data, we have a one big table. So this table divided into three different tables. So the normalization is a process of organizing the data. Firstly, the normalization has organized this particular data. Next, the moment it is going to organize, automatically it can avoid data redundancy, insertion, deletion, and updation anomalies as well. So this is all about your normalization. So now let's see how many different types of we have. So here are the different types of normalization mostly or commonly we will be using. First is first normal form, next second normal form, third normal form, fourth will be having Bayesian chord normal form. So all this type of normal form mostly will be using. So 1NF, 2NF, 3NF, BCNF. So all these are the different normal forms we'll be having. So in coming videos, I will talk in detail or more in detail about all these type of normal forms. Please, I request you to please stay tuned on my channel. Please subscribe to my channel, like and share this video. Thank you. Please subscribe to my channel, like and share my video. Thank you.